Good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the League by Foxxtecca, Season 1, here at the famous legendary Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps. We're here in the commentary box. Myself, Matthew Duffin, Sam Fitzpatrick is joining me tonight, as well as a special guest in Chris Harris, who is a part of the Foxxtecca group. And is here to give us a bit of information about Foxxtecca, a bit more about an insight into the drivers we have on the grid. Fantastic league, a fantastic series with 8 rounds of action. Sam, good evening. Looking forward to this one.
It should be so good, this series. I'm really looking forward to it. We've got such a massive field, and the quality of drivers as well is absolutely insane. It's one of the highest quality series you're really ever going to see. We've got a mixture of very high quality, semi-pro, even professional esports drivers, but also a bunch of real-life drivers as well. And so it should be a lot of fun for everyone to watch. And Chris, to bring you in as well, it must feel very satisfying to see the fruition of all the effort. And yeah, I mean, honestly, as someone who's interested in sim racing, thank you for investing in sim racing and yeah, having a lot of trust in it.
Oh, thank you for having me, and thank you guys for being a part of this. This would not happen without you guys. I was recommended Apex Racing TV as a partner when I was, kind of brainstorming with friends about this. So super excited to get this done. And this is all about access. This is all about giving people the opportunity to compete on the large stage. As you guys know, sim racing is kind of the gateway now for a lot of people into professional racing. But a lot of individuals I spoke to just didn't have the opportunity to race in big leagues and show their stuff. So I'm excited for this. I'm excited to see some great competition. We have some pro racers, some legends in this race, some up-and-comers. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It is going to be a lot of fun, and what an iconic circuit, Chris, to start this championship off at Spa. You couldn't probably pick any more famous circuit, could you?
No, I mean, and you think about it, from pro racers and fans who appreciate this to the enthusiasts from Gran Turismo, from one all the way up. Spa has kind of always been, especially visually, that one turn, everybody knows that turn. So to actually see everybody competing out there today is going to be absolutely fun.
Going to be an interesting one. A quick run through of the calendar. We're at Spa for round 1. Round 2 takes us to the famous Sebring next week. Road America is for week 3. That is on the 20th of August. The 27th of August takes us to the Temple of Speed of Monza. That would be the halfway stage of the season. Back to stateside we go for round 5. That is Watkins Glen. Then we go to Mount Panorama, Bathurst. What a race that's going to be. Week 6, September the 17th, before going to Okayama International Circuit in Japan and then ending it at Road Atlanta. Sam, we've got a calendar there of a great mixture, a great variety of circuits on offer. And what a calendar that is.
Yeah, whoever came up with that calendar really knew what they were talking about. So yeah, really good job from those guys. And yeah, it should be really fun to visit each of these circuits. Really interesting to go to Spa straight away. I mean, Chris, you're absolutely right about it being such an iconic circuit. And a lot of drivers' favourite circuits as well. One of the things that we asked when the drivers registered for the series is, what is your favourite circuit? And having a look, we've got Andrew Yun saying that Spa is his favourite circuit, Nick DePaula, Ismail Arafag, Jason Freichman, and Rain Woodside as well, all saying that this is their favourite circuit. So I'm expecting big things from all of those drivers. I'll be disappointed if this isn't their best round of the season, seeing that they're such a big fan.
And the season's
That's how you come out the gate, right? That's how you come out the gate. We got Spa. I mean, the big stage, it's showtime.
Yeah, what a way to introduce it. Bang, out the doors we go at the famous circuit. And the way the league is set up as well, 8 rounds, but only the 7 best results, highest scoring meetings, contribute to the championship standings at the end of the season. 1 round is dropped, which is your lowest round of the season. So that's going to play also dividends into drivers who may not favour this circuit to open the season.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty useful for the drivers. And it means as well that if anyone misses the first round, anyone who's tuning in, if you miss the first round, yeah, contact us in terms of potentially joining for the future rounds of the championship, because yeah, it'd be awesome to get even more drivers on the grid. And yeah, it would be pretty cool. And yeah, just a great opportunity for anyone who does make a mistake to come back. And of course, there is plenty of opportunity for a mistake because it is 2 races that we have for each evening. 25-minute race 1, 30-minute race 2, with an 8-car inverted grid as well for race 2. And that will mean that you can't just lead from start to finish. You have to be able to overtake if you're going to dominate the series.
Reverse grids are one of the things, or inverted grids are one of the things that make short half-an-hour sort of races really entertaining. So the format for this season is a 10-minute qualifying, in which that 25-minute first race will be led off by the qualifying order. Race 2 will be based off the finishing order of race 1 for the starting grid. But like Sam said there, the top 8 will be inverted. And that's going to be the key thing. Sam, we've covered many a series in the past in which that inverted grid sometimes can provide a bit of drama, but a great bit of action.
Yeah. That it's really something that you don't have complete control over. Like, if you start on pole, generally you're going to be safe on lap 1. But when you start down in 8th position in the midfield, you can't always get away without getting a bit of contact from someone else. And you really got to assess how aggressive you are, whether you want to be gaining those positions or whether you are just going to take maybe the podium result. And so that's going to be something super important for these drivers to watch out for. I don't know, Chris, if there's anyone that you're particularly interested in looking at. I mean, we've got a few real-life drivers in this series, and one of the interesting things is always seeing these real-life drivers actually tackle the sim and see whether their talent in real life translates over to the computer. I don't know if there's anyone that you're looking out for today who sort of falls into that category.
It is exciting. Andre Castro is jumping in. He's a NASCAR Xfinity driver, so it's really exciting to see him. I know he has experience in sims. We also have LeVar Scott and Rob Holland that are jumping in here. Rob Holland is a veteran in racing. He has multiple Pikes Peaks record, British GT World, Pirelli Championship. The guy has been all over, so it's exciting to see how this kind of translates. But I can't lie, I'm excited to see some of the liveries of these cars. It's been a lot of talk in the Discord about, what these vehicles are going to look like. And I know we're going to have a couple of African American Automotive Association liveries. We're going to have a couple of Foxxtecca, but there's a couple of secrets that I see some guys post. I'm excited to see them on track, and if they could keep them clean.
That's one thing I like from you, Chris, the livery, straight to the liveries. That's the best part of looking at these cars for the first time. Seeing what we've got unveiled. You've got to always appreciate a good livery. And you mentioned Rob Holland there. I've had the privilege of watching Rob Holland live in action, British Touring Car Championship many years ago. Fantastic driver, and it'll be great to see him out there at some point this season. Qualifying's now underway for this first race of the afternoon. It's a 10-minute qualifying. The drivers will have their out lap. And what is a pretty long lap. The one thing to mention is, well, you're not going crazy. You're not missing other cars. This is a McLaren GT3 series. It is the McLaren 720S Evo on iRacing. Every driver is in that car. Chris, what was the thought behind that process of just selecting the McLaren?
The first thing is I wanted a car that was manageable but yet fast. So I was thinking about going to some of the more manageable cars, but I thought some of the drivers would really wanted to get in something that poses a bit of a challenge. And then two, the McLarens are just sexy looking cars, right? So I was like, if we're going to do this, it's got to be sexy. So that was a big part of the choice of the car as well. So something that's fast, it's manageable, and looks really good.
It does look really good as well. We are currently sat on board as they're just coming through into the middle sector on the outlap, some of the lead cars at the moment. This is going to be an interesting. This is Kyle Robertson, the Jamaican driver, who's now changed to Andre Castro, the privateer. American driver, car number 4. Lovely looking livery. Gives me kind of Marlboro McLaren vibes there, Sam.
Yeah, it sure does.
Yeah, looks really neat. Some of these color schemes, absolutely. And I'm going to be boring now and talk about tyres when it comes to this qualifying session, because we are currently 10 minutes, or we got a 10-minute qualifying session. But something that maybe a few of our viewers aren't aware of is the tyres in iRacing are all about getting them up to temperature, basically, at the moment. And so expect to see some drivers do some strange stuff, basically, on our screens, including like weaving about even for maybe 2 laps, and generally get faster and faster as the session goes on, because it takes so long to warm up the tyres nowadays in iRacing. These times should be getting faster and faster. And so these early laps don't necessarily count for too much, but yeah, watch for some very quick times very late in this session.
Yeah, the track's going to rubber in as the session goes on, and as Sam says, the tyres will always take a couple of laps just to get to the peak performance here. So you've got to get that banker lap in early, get that early lap in, and then look to push on as the session goes by. We're going to be in for an interesting qualifying session here. Andrew Karen at the moment, the WSR esports car, number 98, coming through Lecom then for the first time on his flying lap. And it's very interesting to see that we've obviously got the updated version of Spa, the newer layout of Spa. The gravel traps on the outside of some of these corners. That's going to catch a few drivers out. Off tracks, track limits. You're not going to be able to push too hard without dipping a wheel over them.
Yeah, and of
And
course,
these
in order to
driver
set
mods
an eligible... So you go, Chris.
Oh, I said these driver mods are going to be on full display. New layout. Some guys, it might be their first time in this car, so it's going to be really interesting to see how everybody navigates and try to run a clean race. It's one thing I love about the iRacing platform as well. You know, it's not destruction derby. People are really going to have to come out here and run a real clean race, so excited for it.
Indeed we are. Here is Gregory Hooverson then, the Apex Racing Academy driver, so one of our own here at Apex Racing. Coming into the middle sector now, just gone through the chicane, he's entering the back part of the circuit through campus. He goes, tricky little right-hander, use a bit of that run-off on the outside before you come in towards Stavelot. And you're going to be flat scat now towards the bus stop chicane as you approach Blanchimont at a great bit of speed. Lap times will start to come in thick and fast, as Sam said a moment ago. It's about getting them tyres prepared still and getting them up to the temperature and the peak performance in a lap or two's time. Into Blanchimont you go now. Pick your braking zone, ready for the bus stop chicane. A little bit to the right, driver just slowing down offline there to let all the guys on a fast lap through. We've got our first times in, and that is a 2 minute 16.5 from Alexei Nesov. Car number 33. Heck of a lap time to get a banker in. Over the line, though, comes that of the Apex Academy driver and shoots himself up into P3 with a 2 minute 16.8. Lap times coming in on the board, Sam. 2 minutes 16 is good lap time to set the early pace in this qualifying session.
Yeah, and I cannot stress enough how good Alexei Nesov is as a driver. So on a lot of people watching maybe aren't familiar, and welcome to everyone, by the way, who's watching, and we're watching or we're looking at all your messages in the YouTube chat. It's fantastic to have all of you engaging so much, and let us know who your favorite drivers are and who you are supporting as well, or anything behind the scenes. But a lot of you may not be familiar with like iRatings necessarily, but an iRating basically judges how good you are as a driver. And so you start off with about 1,300 iRating, and you can accumulate that. And a good driver is generally like around 3K, then you get to the very good drivers are about 7K, and then you get to like the professional drivers who are about 9K. Alexei Nesov is 11K. He's literally like top 20 highest I-rated drivers on all of iRacing. That's just how good Alexei Nesov is. So if he's saying a 16.5, that is pretty much as fast as he can go. He will be very tricky to beat this season.
Very tricky to beat. Only 2/10 off at the minute is Andrew Karen. But this is the quality of this grid, isn't it, Chris? The mixture of sim racers, real life racers coming onto the sim. We're going to get these clashes of lap times and of different classes, really, aren't we? In what drivers can do what.
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting to see Nesov's number, and then you kind of that 217 number right now. There's a big cluster within there, so that's exciting to see. And it's gonna be a long season, which brings me to give a shout out to the official fuel of our sponsor, the official fuel of the league. The name is Roasted Record. It's a really cool coffee shop based out of Stuart, Florida. And they're a record store / coffee shop, and they're big on sustainability. They're big on, sustainability in the coffee industry, providing opportunities for those growers in the coffee industry, and we're really proud to have them a part of this. And their owner is actually racing in the series. I don't see his name out there now, but Mike Mann is out there this season. He's going to be racing, so excited to see.
Mike Mann currently sat in 25th. So he's out there on the circuit at the moment. So we'll keep our eye on what Mike Mann can do. The owner of the official sponsor, Roasted Record, as Toth goes up into P4. Here is Mike Mann on your screen now. There we go, bit of orange on that car. That's lovely orange, or papaya maybe for the McLaren car. As
Maybe
Smith
it's a
moved,
light coffee color.
I
Maybe
like
light
yeah,
coffee.
yeah, like coffee. So, yeah, possibly so. We'll hopefully we'll get to speak with Mike Mann and maybe find out what that will be. Qualifying then, just over the halfway mark. We've got 2 minutes, just over 2 minutes left in this session, and we're seeing lap times coming. One thing to mention as well is points in these races are from first all the way down to 40th place. So a chance for drivers to score points. We've got, I believe, 39 drivers out there today. So drivers will score points for being for finishing in this race, and that's one of the most important things, isn't it, when racing, is getting them points and just trying to, with that drop round being available, just try and score as much as you can and move on to the next one, isn't it, I suppose, if you have a bad week.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be as long as they complete a lap, then they will score points, and that can be very important when it comes to accumulating those points. It should be a competitive championship, but not just at the front. I think everyone's going to have sort of an incentive to finish, I know, top 10, maybe top 20, maybe even top 30 as a few of these drivers' aims. But this is, yeah, we've got such a wide range of iRacings. We've got 11K drivers and we've got drivers who are below 1K. So, like, it's a really big mix of drivers. And, yeah, pretty cool to see them all out on circuit. Just got a minute to go. I believe once we get to 10 minutes, the qualifying session will, like, tick over. I don't think they'll be able to complete the lap that they start. So, all these times really matter with the drivers about to cross the line next.
Yeah, so this is really the end of their qualifying session, if that is the case. We'll find out as we approach that 10-minute mark. Then drivers coming towards the end of their final flying laps. They're just, so that's 3 laps into qualifying they'd have done. So the tyres, you'd imagine now, will just start to be feeling good. The one thing we didn't mention, though, is, and we can see on the screen here, is the traffic. You're not able to get a clean run in because everybody seems to be in the same part of the circuit at the same time. And for qualifying, that is track space is all what you need. There's a few drivers improving up and down the field. We're currently on board with the English driver, Thomas Critchell. P12 at the moment, in towards the bus stop chicane, gets a decent exit now and comes towards the line, running over the curb. Does he find any improvement in his time? Yes, he does. Moves all the way up to P6, and there is the end of that qualifying session. So Alexei Nesov, pole position. He did find more. He found half a second more. A 2:16.010, 0.3 of a second ahead of Andrew Carron in the for the front row of the grid. A decent qualifying there. By all, really. And this is your start grid. Alexei Nesov on pole from Andrew Carron, with Michael Polasek in P3, David Toth P4, with Balazs Pala P5, Thomas Critchell up into 6th place, Zane Smith is 7th from Nick De Paula in P8, Gregory Hooverson in P9, Andre Castro P10, Cameron Brown P11, with Tyrone Roberts P12. P13 then for Mike Brooks, with Russell Soto P14, Alessandro Torchio in 15th place, with Lucas Souza in 16th, Leo Dragotta 17th place ahead of Zohair Ahmed in 18th, Richard Wedstead in 19th place, Tyler Campbell alongside him, then it'll be Miles Brown from Justin Bessett in 22nd, Tyler King 23rd, and Anthony Jenkins P24. 25th place for Ishmael Arafag. We'll go with that for now. Hopefully that has been pronounced right. Chris Wetz is P26. Jason Frickman in P27. Anthony Cuthbert 28th. Kyle Robertson alongside Kinston Mullins. Jack Linder from Alan Ware. Then it's Jordan Wallace, Mike Mann, Lance Fenderson, and then Lewis Garland the 4th.
Man, this is exciting to get going. Just all these guys out here. It's almost a dream come true. I'm excited just to see some good racing. I got my coffee here with me. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, start of a race, start of a season is always an interesting factor, Chris. The excitement from you is just, it's brilliant to see somebody so invested in sim racing, and it's fantastic to see the enthusiasm, Chris. This has been a long time coming, hasn't it? And obviously everybody's been looking forward to taking part in this, none more so than yourself.
Yeah, it's all about accessibility, right? I mean, how realistic technology has brought the sim game now, and just with the iRacing platform with the wheels, and it's so realistic. And some of these guys have simple wheels, and some of them have full-fledged setups that move back and forth. So to be able to have this access now and be a racer and see the stakes that are in this game, like, I couldn't be any more happy. This is just as fun as sitting in the stands, if not better, because you don't have to be in the heat. But this is, to me, just as much as being out in a real race.
If you had
This
to
is
pick
a real race.
It is a real race. If you had to pick a driver, Chris, to win this first one, who are you going with?
Man, you ain't getting me set up. No, 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 no.
Wise.
Yeah. Don't put the jinx on anybody, because the commentator's curse, as Sam will well and truly know, is a real thing. And the jinx is there. We are getting ready to go. They're coming through up towards Blanchimont now. Sam, looks an interesting one. 19 degrees ambient, 22 track temperature at the moment. Looks a good day for racing.
Yeah, I know we were talking a little bit before we went live about crashes and how, I'm sure a lot of our viewers would like to see some crashes. I'm really hoping everyone just gets through lap 1 nice and safely. Cold tyres are very tricky, and Upper Rouge and Razion, that can be quite demanding. So I'm sure Nesov will be all right from the pole position, but let's hope that everyone else has a clean start to this season.
Into the bus stop chicane, the drivers approach. The safety car will pull into the pit lane, and that will allow Nesov to take control of the pace, starting alongside Andrew Caron. There goes the safety car into the pits. They exit the bus stop chicane, and for round 1 of the season, we are here at Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps. Green and go, and it's a great start from Nesov. Already comes across the line to take the racing line in towards turn 1. 3 or 4 wide, coming down in towards the source for the first time. They all get nice and bunched up. Looks a very clean start from everybody as they come out of the source. And on the run now, down to the most famous corner in all of World Motorsport, El Rouge. It is Nesov who is away, absolutely clean. He's got a lovely gap out front as well from that of Caron and Polosek just behind him. But up and over Radion they come. Everybody gets a great clean start, and it looks a beautiful day here at Spa for racing. Everybody is through. No dramas in the background that we can see thus far, and we is absolutely green and go here. Nesov just being caught with the slipstream from his McLaren. Caron being able to get onto the back of him as they come in towards the com now. Gap down to just 0.3 of a second, and look at them one by one. They filter through this circuit. What a start to this race.
Mike Brooks with a bit of a spin at Les Combes. He's the big loser out, and he started up in 13th position, but he's gone all the way to the back, so it's going to be a long road back for him in this race.
25 minutes, let's not forget, in this first one. The finishing order will set the grid for race 2. Bar the top 8, they will be inverted. Looks like the Apex Academy driver there of Gregory Hooverson making a move on Thomas Critchell in towards Puon, and he has got that one done up the inside in the background. This is Critchell on the back now of that of Hooverson in towards the chicane we go for the first time. Cars all over the place trying to make moves as they go through the first half of this lap. Chris, great start to this race already. A few drivers just dipping a wheel on the gravel there.
And I got goosebumps watching all of this, and it's amazing to see the tight pack right now. I know it'll probably stretch out as the race goes on, but it just shows you the talent of these drivers from the top to the bottom. They got the skills.
They have got the skills, and Nesov has done the job he's needed to do. He's got Caron there, still in that slipstream as they come towards Blanchimont for the first time before breaking into that bus stop chicane. Caron just needs to get a little bit closer to think about having a look in towards the bus stop. There you go, and they all go single file as you were. Maybe a bit of a move in the background. Look for somebody to come up the inside. This is Hooverson again in that Apex Academy car on the back of Balazs Pala now, just in front of him, the Hungarian driver. Doing well, and it's pretty much a good train. And I'd say the top 7 before a bit of a gap back to P8, Sam.
Yeah, Hofferson has been the man on the mission. I mean, he started in 9th position, did Gregory, and he's up to 6th place already. Also, Richard Wedstead up 6 places. He didn't make up a whole lot right off the launch, but he's just been picking them off one by one as the lap has gone on. So he's up 6, up into 13th place. And also Carl Robertson up 5 places into 24th. So we've had a few movers, but frankly not maybe as much as I thought. The top 5 certainly are still in the same order as where they started, as we're watching Zane Smith, who's actually down 3 places. But he had a nice draft on Andre Castro, was not close enough to make a move into Les Combes, and still Caron not quite close enough as well to pass Nesov. And of course, with these short races, there's no fuel saving needed, there's no pit stops or anything like that. They are going 100%, and so if Caron can go for the move, I think he will do.
Looks like he gets the run up El Rouge and Radion to get in that slipstream down the Camel straight in towards the con, but he's just not close enough as we speak. 2 drivers was in the pits. That was Anthony Jenkins and Chris Wetz. They've been in for a quick stop somewhere. So that must have been a little bit of damage they've repaired on their car. But this is on the back of Michael Polasek at the moment. The WSR Esports with his teammate, or in the same team, should I say, of Andrew Karen, just in front. And that top 5 or 6 really glued together at the moment. Like you say, Richard Westard, the biggest gainer in this one so far, up 6 places into 13th place. And so far, Chris, it's been a very, very interesting race. Like Sam said, though, no fuel saving required. This is all sprint.
Yeah, it's a sprint. It's pedal to the metal. And, you know, as people start to stretch out and they don't have to worry about tires or fuel, somebody's going to make a move, right? They're kind of packed up together, a little bit of movement. But as those laps start ticking away, somebody's going to go for it. And it's exciting to see what that looks like.
I'm not sure what has just happened to Thomas Critchell there. He's saying he was out of the race. He's had a moment somewhere. He's dropped down to 36th position. So that is a shame for him because he was right up the order in P7. So we have... That to me would be an internet connection possibly, or he's had an incident somewhere and has returned to the pit lane. But he is out of this race. He's not circulating either according to the timing screen. So hopefully whatever has happened, he can get back in and sorted for race 2. Looks a lot of drama down in the background. This is a replay then of that of Thomas. So he's on the back then of the Apex car just in front. Coming in towards Campus now. Has a bit of a moment onto the gravel. Loses a bit of time. And then, yeah, disappears. That's definitely a bit of an internet connection problem for Thomas there. Hopefully he can get that one sorted back in for race 2. Nesov, though, still leads this race.
Maybe he got caught in the Matrix, guys. We got to see where he's at.
We'll have to see if he can come back in for that second race. Tyler Campbell's just made a move on Lucas Souza on the timing screen, up into 15th place for Tyler Campbell. Up 5 for him. That's put Westwood up 7 now. And at the moment, it looks like that Nessov's got a better car, Sam, I'd say, through the corners because Karen is really catching him on the quicker bits.
Yeah, he looks pretty comfortable, doesn't he, Karen? And with that draft that he's got, it's protecting him against Polasek and Toth and Pala as well, because he's got the draft, and so there's no advantage on the other drivers. But yes, they go through the middle part of the lap. Of course, this isn't Formula 1, and so it's not as though we've got a huge amount of turbulence, but there is still a little bit amount. And of course, these guys over the course of a lap are separated by about a 1/10 of a second. So even if they're just losing hundredths per corner, they really do feel that understeer. They feel that loss of grip. But of course, once they get to the straights, there is that nice bit of draft as well. So it should balance themselves out a little bit. Also something to watch out for. Nesov is a privateer. He's got 2 teammates behind him, and then there's 2 more teammates behind the WSR guys. So they could potentially team up against Nesov if they possibly can. We haven't seen that quite so far yet.
No, not just yet.
No, his teammates, there's definitely some bragging rights that is in this, right? They can ride this out, but at some point, all gloves are off, right? We got to go for it.
100%. Come the end of this race, when it's when it's getting to the closing stages, I guarantee there will be moves made. This is Castro. We're on board with at the minute behind Nick DePaula in the pink and purple and white McLaren just in front and trying to make a move there. Now Karen is right on the back of Nesov as they're coming towards La Source at the moment. We just saw a moment ago. This could be interesting up El Rouge and Radion. A good run up here could set him up as Castro there getting a little close to the back of the 37 McLaren, under braking into La Source. This is on board with Karen now. Look at him really up close, getting that draft off the car in front. Through El Rouge they go now. They're about to approach Radion up and over the curb. Ride it as much as you can. He's got a great run and a great slipstream down the Kemmel straight. Is he going to pull to that right-hand side? Will Nesov cover him? Really tucking up. Bit of a bump draft going on. He's happy to sit in behind though at the moment is Karen and doesn't think of making the move. Sam, very surprised he didn't look to go up the inside of the com there.
Yeah, that was... He had the opportunity, right? But he decided to stay behind, so maybe he's waiting till a little bit later on. Just behind them, Andre Castro, by the way, has got past Nick DePaula, so Castro up into 7th place. He's made good progress since the start of this race as they go alongside into Bruxelles, and Castro gets his elbows out, and this could get worse now for Nick DePaula because he's alongside Zane Smith. Don't think Zane's going to get too much fruition from out there, has to back out of it, and now he's looking behind at Cameron Brown, but into Pouon, it's a very tricky to overtake corner. I think they'll all remain single file.
I think you're correct with what Karen is doing there. I think Karen's waiting for a little bit longer in the race. He doesn't want to be the one to come under fire at maybe through out of Stavelot towards the bus stop chicane, or maybe up El Rouge down the Camel Straight himself, as this is Tyrone Roberts having a look up the inside on that of Brown just in front of him, and no can do through there as they come to campus once again. Chris, we're starting to see a few little packs of cars develop. We've got the front pack, we've got a middle pack, and just a few train of cars up and down the grid.
Yeah, they're going to have to fight for their spaces, right? I think that the pack is starting to kind of, like you said, everybody's kind of clustered together within their groups, and the little fights between each group man, look how sexy this car looks. I'm sorry, guys. I just love the way this McLaren looks.
Sadly, I'd have gone for the Acura NSX myself. But the McLaren is a good-looking car, as we see in a move here into the bus stop chicane. De Paula on that outside line becomes the inside for the second part of it, and a spinner in the background that's caught out. I think that was that Smith, I think, who's been caught with the front bumper just coming off the car. So he's going to be feeling the damage here. It was Zane Smith, the red and black car, that had the spin, and he caught that of Brown coming out that chicane there, and it looked like a moment all on his own.
Yeah, I think there might be a bit of damage now on the front of Brown's car. At least on my screen, it's almost as though his bumper came off initially and then came back on, which sometimes happens with iRacing. But that means that he will have some aero damage, which won't necessarily affect him to the corners too much. But it will affect him down the straights. Talking about the straights, we've got a move on here, and that's Gregory Hobson up 4 places, up into 5th place. How much further could he get up? He can see the leaders just ahead, and look at that move as well. That is Polisek and Toth, and they were very close to making contact there, with Polisek just about holding on. And we'll get the gaps for you up on the timing tower on the left as well, just to show you the different packs which have formed so far in this race, with different clusters up and down the field.
Yeah, Toth there, really looking to have a look on Polisek in towards Lecombe. Couldn't get it done though, and that's just allowing Karen and Nesov just to pull a bit of a gap while they're all starting to have a battle. Here is Smith and Brown. Brown, who'll be feeling that aero effect with that front end damage to his car. That is Smith through, and it looks like Roberts could be up the inside of Puon on Brown as well. Indeed, he has got that move done, and into Les Fangas they come now, side by side, bit of hip and shoulder. All nice and clean now at the moment. Rubbins racing, as they say, Chris, and this is an epic battle between these two.
Yeah, and I think that arrow's starting to really take effect on the car. He's starting to, people catching up to him a little bit, and it's amazing how that works in iRacing.
Brown now, this is where he's probably going to feel that aero not at his full advantage with that straight line speed coming up towards Blanchimont. There you go. Roberts, and now Wedsted is on the back of him. Roberts just going to patiently wait, maybe look to make that move, have a lunge up the inside as Brown covers the inside line already here in towards the bus stop chicane. Is he going to try around the outside, Roberts? No, he doesn't. Going to try for the up and under maybe, but there. And that's the bonus, I suppose, of what Brown's just done there, Sam. That bus stop chicane, you run a little deep at the first part of it. You kind of have then defended that second half.
Yeah, you can be attacked into the second part, and now they wait for the source because you've got such a long run up here. That's a little bit of contact, and that's actually really costed Roberts quite a bit, and that's really risky to hit the car ahead of you because you're actually more likely to spin in that situation than they are. So that was a bit risky there from Roberts, and you can see now he's got a bit of a gap to the car ahead, so not great for him. We've got a question in the YouTube chat, by the way. Who should I support? Anyone. I recommend supporting a car that you like the look of. Whoever's livery I think looks best, support them. I recommend. I think that's pretty sound logic to start off the season.
Actually, no.
I agree. Style points, right? You look good. What Prime said, look good, feel good, play good. Well, look good, feel good, drive good. And I think that's a great approach to find a driver. And even follow these guys' Instagram pages. Yep. Look them up and see. You know, somebody could live close to you. There's look him up, just like you would look up another sports personality.
Russell Soto had the privilege of commentating him on a GT4 series on Apex Racing a few months ago. Brilliant driver, young lad in a young Formula category, I do believe, in the real world. And asking that question, FinFan72, Langley, great question. Know him personally. I was actually racing with him earlier on today. Westhead, though, going to the outside at the minute of Soto. That's going to put him on the inside line for the next part of this circuit. Really bunching up here in the mid-pack. And Westhead gets the move. Not done yet. In fact, he has done, because Soto's had a bit of a moment through the chicane. That's allowed Torchio to come around the outside, and Soto loses a couple of places there in one. So not the best run at the end part of this lap. We're over half distance in this first race. Nesov still has Carson all over the back of him, and Soto here, his lap has gone from bad to worse because he's now under pressure from Campbell, who's in fact he's been overtaken by Campbell. They're side by side towards Blanchimont. Soto loses out again, so just struggled this lap. He's kind of made his own little mistakes that has cost him throughout this one.
Well, you said it right at the start, Matthew, the commentator's curse, and that's what you just done to Soto there. So hopefully you're happy with that one. As Cameron Brown is alongside right now with Tyrone Roberts, and that battle continuing. Oh, it's got a bit feisty for P4, and Hoverson might be up another place here, but they're going to go alongside into Eau Rouge and Radion. This is risky stuff. Hoverson should have the better line here. But he pitches him back in the right direction. Well, Hoverson will have to drop back now because of the slowdown, but that could have been so much worse.
A flash of the lights there, and that will be a flash of the lights. He will not be happy with that. Side by side, that is a brave move in towards Eau Rouge. And yeah, it's a shame that the contact was made, because that could have set up an almighty run down the Kemmel Straight. But there is a few ding-dongs just starting to happen. As we said, Krista, later on in this race, elbows are out and it's gloves off.
Yeah, I mean, at some point you got to go for it, right? We're about halfway through, more than halfway through now, so people got to start making their runs to the front, taking chances.
And I do apologise for Soto for that commentator's curse. Here's Alan Ware down in 28th. Great run down the Kemmel Straight on Fenderson. The car in front, the black with a bit of green on it. Lovely looking livery. That one into Lacombe. Oh, horribly wrong. Back come flying off. That was a bit of contact for a man in the rear in towards Lacombe, and I feel there that Mike Mann got caught out a little bit by Ware having a bit of a shallow line in towards the first part of Lacombe.
That's the Foxxtecca car too. That's our Foxxtecca livery car, and it looks dirty now. Why do you do that?
I'm pretty sure, Chris, that's a 100-point penalty, right? If he damaged
it is. He's going to get fined. 100-point penalty.
Yeah.
He's got to get fined. Probably $100 million fine, and we'll work on the details. Maybe jail time too. You don't hurt my car.
Yeah.
So the sponsor car is it the Foxxtecca car, and yeah, that's gone really well. Back down.
Yeah, I know.
Back down to Soto down in 14th place at the moment. Started to regroup. He's on the back of Wedstead yet again. There's a great gaggle of cars here, all behind Torchio in P12, right down to Brown in P17. So a good group of cars. And here comes then. That is Westhead on Torchio for P13 and 12 into the bus stop chicane. Soto watching and waiting. Action up front as well between Brown and Roberts. Still having a fight there side by side as they exit the bus stop chicane there just at further up the road. And here is Brown and Roberts. Brown hanging on in there in the top 10. So he's got a bit of damage on the front into La Source. He'll hang on in there yet again, because you've got to get the up and under on the exit of that corner, and he just can't do so. Brown, with that front aero damage, Sam, really hanging on in there, especially at this part of the circuit.
Right now that queue's not too bad, but you can see once sort of that gap between Roberts and Torchio reduces, as we've got to change for second place as well, so because Polasek has got past Caron for second place, and that's between the teammates, to be fair, as well. So maybe that was choreographed, I'm not quite sure. But Polasek now is into second place and can chase down the leader. In terms of, it's up to a second now. I'm not quite sure what happened to Caron there, but he just dropped off, and maybe Polasek was thinking, well, if you're not going to go for the lead, I am, and I'm going to pass, and I think I'm the one who's going to lead our team to maybe win this race. But yeah, 8 minutes to go, and the gap is out of second, which is around the point where the slipstream starts to get very, very weak.
And that's where Caron has kind of had that bonus, hasn't he? He's been in that slipstream of Nesov all race, and that's where he's been able to pick up the run down in towards Lake Com and in towards the bus stop chicane. But at the moment then, Chris, changed for second place as we enter this latter stages, and Brown is now the train between 10th and 17th place. He's the leader of this train, and this is a good group of cars battling it out for a top 10.
There's a lot of action back there. I love what I'm seeing for the guys. They're really competing, and it's getting close. What we got? Like you said, little less than 8 minutes, 7 minutes. It's go time.
It is go time there. Roberts nearly into the back of Brown. Dragotta down in 23rd. Gets ahead of Mullings for 23rd, should I say. So that's a move done there. And this is Tyrone Roberts in that slipstream of Brown. Towards Blanchimont they go. Campbell in the background's got past Soto. Behind this, they're all in this train at the moment. Roberts getting closer and closer. There is Campbell and Soto in behind as they come down now towards the bus stop chicane. Is there a move happening further forward? We'll keep our eyes on that timing tower. Soto's got a car looking up the inside, and this is Roberts now having a look at Brown. He's got ahead of him just slightly by the front end as they exit the chicane. Brown comes back at him, and now we've got Torchio having a look up the inside of Roberts in towards the source. Late on the brakes, can he follow Brown through? He can indeed. The question is the momentum out of La Source as they head towards Eau Rouge. The battle is epic. Brown is hanging in there, and Roberts manages to tuck into that gap between Brown and Torchio at the bottom of Eau Rouge.
That was awesome.
Up and
Such
through
close racing, and now they're going to keep going as well at the top of Radin. They're almost too close, so they had to get out of the throttle as Torquay finds a little bit of gap and a little bit of grass as well on the inside of the circuit. They're making some extra corners down this straight. Torquay almost thinks about making it through wide. He might be the one who loses out now because Brown somehow is holding on to P10, but maybe not for much longer because look at the run for Roberts, and Roberts will run him out wide there, and Roberts gets up into 10th place and he'll try to scamper away now from this pack. And now maybe the floodgates are opening. They are open because Brown has made contact, and maybe that was just a matter of time because he was having to defend so much, and eventually there was a bit of contact.
Brown tumbling down.
And look at Hoverson. Hoverson has had a huge crash.
That is crabbing. That is something is broke on the back of that car. That is not happy. I did see a bumper actually off at Bruxelles then, in the gravel on the outside line. This is what has happened to him. So he was in a fight. One of the lead cars is off. He squeezes up the inside, and the gap just wasn't there, and both end up in the wall. That's out of No Name, actually. So that's a different bumper to what I saw in the gravel. But an incident further up the road, and that is Hoverson, who's had such a great start to this race. Who else was that? Karen's back at
David Toth.
Toth, yeah, down in 7th.
I'll tell you one thing. Duct tape and zip ties ain't going to fix that one.
No, indeed it's not. Here is Pala, who's now been promoted up into P4 behind Polasek. Now, what has happened to Polasek as well? Because he was ahead of Karen. He's now 3.5 seconds behind Karen. So was he involved in that? And that's why Toth was maybe off the road already. So interesting to see there. Brown's down in 14th place after that little moment as well. Brown's down in 17th place. Sorry, read the wrong Brown. C. Brown down in 17th place after that moment as well earlier on. So this may be of what has happened to Toth then. So they both have a little wiggle out of the right-hander. Down towards... just a late close of the door. That's the bumper that I've seen in the gravel then. I'm assuming that's... There we go. That's Cayman.
There it goes.
These two still side by side into No Name. Bit of hip and shoulder. Ran into the gravel. And that's where he's going to bounce off the wall. And that's where he's caught out by the Apex Racing Academy car. So, yeah, that is what has happened to that of Polasek then. And Pala is actually ahead of Polasek now. So we've missed the move for P3, but Pala up ahead. But the damage, Sam, you'll be able to tell us a little more. That rear bumper falling off, what's that going to do to the McLaren?
Yeah, I think it should be, again, it'll affect him a bit down the straight. Oh, maybe it's affecting the corners because that did not look like it was, that looked like it was in front wheel drive or rear steering drive there because that was really uncomfortable for Polasek. So he'll just limp around, I think, and finish in P4. Toth has got damage as well. Remember, he had that big hit with Hoverson. I'm surprised that Toth hasn't got more damage, actually, but he's slowly dropping down the field. But he's now got 5.5 seconds back to Roberts behind. He hasn't even got a rear wing. And so he's going to be really slow. But 5.5 seconds, he might be all right. We've only got one more lap to go after this one. So he might hold on to P8, which, considering he crashed Toth, would be a very good result.
We'll take that for sure. No rear wing on one car, no bumper on another. And it's been great racing. This is down in Westhead, P10 at the moment. Still a good group of cars from Roberts in 9th down to King in 16th. They're all separated within a second of each other in front. And Chris, that's what you want really, isn't it? And that's the bonus about having a car that everybody's in the same car. It's all down to driver ability, isn't it? There's no upper hand with a car being favoured at one circuit. This is down to driver ability.
100%, and that's the big thing about racing. I wanted to, be able to eliminate the variables and really have it come down to, driver mod, right? Driver mod is everything, and it's amazing to see everybody is really good drivers here. It's been relatively clean race. It's not bumper cars, so I'm really impressed with all these drivers here today.
It's been a cracking race. Couple of drivers still in the pitch. Jenkins, Wallace, Brooks. We obviously lost Critchell due to a disconnection earlier on. In fact, he's actually back in this race. So Critchell in to score some important points. And he's got himself up into 37. So that's great to see at the moment. Here is Pala then. Polasek on the back of him in that slipstream. There's a couple of cars as well in the background. That is Castro and De Paula for 5th and 6th in the slipstream down the com. And Polasek keeping with Pala at the moment. Karen, I'm noticing, got back within a second of Nesov. But this is possibly going to be the last lap of this race. So he's not close enough to make a move. This is Castro and De Paula then for 5th and 6th in this one. And what a race it is. By the way, Jesse Laverin is up 11 places down in 28th place, as is Kyle Robertson in 18th place. So big gains there for them two today. Obviously, a few incidents has helped them gain a few places, but big gains for them, up 11 places.
Yeah, that's a good effort from both of them. Robertson's gradually been gaining those places, but yeah, I think sort of 10th place has almost been a bit cursed. Like, we've had a lot of incidents around that sort of region. It's really enabled guys like this guy, Campbell, to gain a lot of places himself. And I think that's another one he's just gained. He's got past Richard Wedstead and is up into P11. So that's now 9 places. We only have half a lap to go. And these guys are going to put absolutely everything on. Top 8 get inverted, remember. So I don't think anything's going to change for that 8th position. Looks like Tots is going to get reverse grid pole. But these guys still want to finish as high up as they possibly can.
And there is a lot of action in this mid-pack. I think we may get one more lap in here. No, we are going to take the checkered flag. Nesov is exiting that final corner as we speak. 2 seconds left on the clock and one. We was very close to getting one final lap in, but Alexei Nesov wins here for race 1 at Spa. Karen will come home to take that 2nd place, and Balazs Pala, the Hungarian driver, finishes the podium in P4 with Polasek, Castro, De Paula, Smith and Toth. 1.4 seconds Robert's got the gap down to. Toth crosses the line and he will take that inverted pole. And look at this stream of cars flooding across the line as they finish this first race at Spa.
That one for the books. I have goosebumps. It was absolutely fun. Big shout out to Roasted Record again, fueling these guys. And oh, there you go. He's going for it.
He's going for it. Here is Jesse Laverin up 11 places. Might want to make that 12 places as he's coming up to Mike Mann into the final corner. It's all about the run out the final corner. Gets a heck of a launch. Has to get off the accelerator though before tapping the back of the Roasted Records car. And they come across the line for 27th, 28th. Cuthbert 29th and then Wets down in 30th.
Well, we've got a 3-minute break now, and thank goodness we have it because that was very very intense racing right there. Gregory Hobson as well. We've got to wait for him to finish the race. Despite that big crash, of course, I think earlier on, Chris, you were saying that gaffer tape isn't going to fix that car. However, a fast repair in iRacing, which fixes everything on the car, that will fortunately fix it. So he managed to get back out on track. He'll actually finish just about on the lead lap, but obviously will only take home 6 points with that 35th place. And what makes it even worse is that he will start 35th for race 2 as well. So this evening for him, any chance of scoring big points is completely over.
The most painful thing, Sam, is he's also got the fastest lap of the race.
Yeah.
So what could have been?
It's a long season.
Oh, indeed it is. Indeed it is. We've got that second 30-minute race coming up. Great to see Critchell get back in at the end as well. He actually got 36th. Got ahead of Jenkins on that last lap with Jenkins being in the pit. So he'll score an extra couple of points. Hoverson and Critchell was having a fight in race 1. They'll be together on the grid, 35th and 36th in race 2. Keep your eyes on them two coming through the field. 5 minutes longer as well. So that's going to be an interesting one to keep our eyes on, Chris.
I think race number 2, well, this now inverted race, I'm really looking forward to because, running around for so many laps, you get used to just, especially Spa, going one way. Now the top 8, right? Top 8 we're taking, we're flipping them the other way.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. So the results for race 1 here at the league by Foxxtecca is Alexei Nesov, your race winner, from Andrew Karen with Balaz Pala P3, Michael Polasek P4, Andre Castro 5th place from Nick DePaula, Zane Smith, David Toft, Tyrone Roberts, Alessandro Torchio P10, in which, like Sam said, so many drivers was 10th place in this one. Tyler Campbell from Richard Wested, Russell Soto, Miles Brown, Zahir Ahmed, then it's Tyler King, Cameron Brown and Kyle Robertson. Lucas Souza from Leo Dragotta. Then it's Jason Freichman, P23. Kingston Mullings from Jack Lindner. Lance Fenderson in P26. Mike Mann, 27th from Jesse Laverin. Anthony Cuthbert from Chris Wetz. Lewis Garland in P31. Rain Woodside, P32. Alan Ware from Jonathan Laws. Then it's Gregory Hooverson, Anthony Jenkins, Thomas Critchell, and then Jordan Wallace. And Mike,
it's amazing to see some of these names. Oh, I'm sorry. It's amazing to see some of these names. Rain Woodside, he's 21 years old, and he was kind of getting off of work, rushing home to get on the sim. And then, you know, have Jordan Wallace. He participates in NASCAR's European Series. And, I mean, there's just so many big names here. Like, people who are sacrificing what they need to sacrifice to come here and race. And some guys have made a career. I mean, it's amazing that you can make a career out of sim racing. Like, I just love it.
And that's one of the bonuses, isn't it? And I think many people inspired by when you see the likes of Max Verstappen and Lando Norris doing a bit of sim racing and jumping into the car, it inspires people, doesn't it, to try and be the next versions of them on these kind of platforms.
It's a lot of work. It takes a lot of practice. I have a simulator here at home. I don't get to jump on it as much as I want to, but really dripping sweat in these sessions racing, and it's a lot. So very much have to focus, and I love it, man. I love to see where the sport is going, and who knows what it's going to look like in the next 5 years.
I've had the privilege of being at the Apex Racing studio. And in the downstairs, they've got the customer lounge with the simulator set up. Thank God for air conditioning, because I've been in their simulators. They are serious pieces of equipment, and you do work up a sweat. And this was only just sort of learning a bit of iRacing, getting to grips with a car and a track and the rain, and taking a bit of notes for the commentary that afternoon. I've also been in simulators at another company, motion censored ones. Different pieces of equipment. That is the wettest I've been getting out of a simulator. Let's put it that way. That is hard work in them, but some serious pieces of equipment that people have at their homes or studios, wherever they may be at. Apex Racing have some fantastic piece of equipment downstairs, Sam. They're privileged to have had a go on one of them. They are fantastic.
Big shout out to Superlap as well. Superlap, it's out of Berkeley, Michigan, right outside of Detroit. And we probably have 5 guys in there right now, 4 or 5 guys on sims all together racing in this race right now. So big shout out to the guys over at Superlap.
So then, race 2 is right around the corner. We'll bring you the grid. Oh, no, here we go. David Toth will be on pole for finishing 8th place. In that race, top 8 are inverted. Zane Smith from Nick DePaula. Then it's Andre Castro. Michael Polasek, P5. Balaz Pala, 6th place. Andrew Karen from Alexei Nesov, your race 1 winner. Tyrone Roberts is P9 from Alessandro Torchio. Tyler Campbell and Richard Wested round out the top 12. Russell Soto from Miles Brown. Zohair Ahmed is alongside Tyler King. Cameron Brown is with Kyle Robertson. Justin Bissett is 19th alongside Ismail Arafag. Then it's Lucas Souza and Leo Dragotta, 21 and 22. 23 for Jason Frickman, and then 24 for Kingston Mullins. P25 for Jack Lindner from Lance Fenderson. Mike Mann, 28, 7th alongside Jesse Laverin. Anthony Cuthbert from Chris Wetz, Lewis Garland from Ryan Woodside, Alan Ware, Jonathan Laws, and then Gregory Hooverson, Anthony Jenkins. And it's Thomas Critchell, Jordan Wallace, and Mike Brooks. Keep your eyes, race 2. Gregory Hooverson and Thomas Critchell was at the front of the pack in that first race. Keep your eyes on them two. This is going to be an interesting one. Sam, race 2, the extra 5 minutes to play for here. It's going to be similar, isn't it, to that first race? It's going to be elbows out, bit of a sprint race type format with it being 30 minutes. Gloves off, let's go for the win.
Yeah, and of course we talk about the reverse grid being the top 8, but I think you very much, identified, there's a couple of guys right at the back who were front runners, and so there's almost a full reverse grid in some senses in terms of we've got some very quick guys at the back, and frankly, there's some guys who maybe overperformed in race 1 as well, who will be watching their back and having a lot of quick guys right behind them. So this is a little bit of a mixed up grid. And once again, all I'm hoping is that they all keep it clean on lap 1. They were really good in race 1. We had one spin, I think, at Lake Kuma. I think that was it. Yeah, hopefully they're all nice and sensible. And David Toth, he is about 10k iRacing. He's about top 100 drivers in all of iRacing. So he's going to be very good off this race. Like, he knows how to lead a race from pole position. He's been there before.
Chris, if you haven't
Top
seen
100 in iRacing, I can't imagine the amount of people that are in iRacing. To be top 100 is a little crazy.
And Chris, to see the top inverted grid, if you've not seen one before, this is going to be exciting. If you thought race 1 was good, hold on to your hat, because this is going to be even better. They come round the final corner. And for race 2 here at Spa, it's green and go. It's a great start from David Toth. They are all bunched up on that second row further behind, looking to make it 4 wide, down in towards the source for the first time in this second race. They're 3 abreast into turn 1. Toth gets the start he needed to. Bit of a poor exit though, and he's come under pressure. And Andre Castro is the one who's gone through. I think that was Soto having a spin in the background out of late source, but it's Andre Castro who now leads the way as they're 2-3 wide in towards El Rouge. They go for the first time. Brave stuff here at the front of the pack here in the league by Foxxtecca, and what a getaway that has been for Castro. Tough coming under pressure from Polasek. Also Nesov is up 3 places already. Look out for Karen. Polasek into second place, looking to get past Toth. Don't think he's managed it though into Lecom, and Nesov, your race 1 winner, already going ahead with Karen moving up the order.
Absolutely crazy start there. The issue was that Zane Smith just didn't go from second position, and that caused everyone else to check up. And Andre Castro leads right now, but just watch in case he gets a penalty. He was really close to potentially jumping the start. So let's just check that he doesn't have to come into the pits at the end of lap 1. I don't think he will have to, but yeah, he was really close. But what a start from 4th place to already be in the lead halfway around lap 1.
So for those of you who are all new to this iRacing and racing platform, we have a lot of people watching who are just watching for the first time this style of racing. So a lot of times when things happen versus pulling over, you guys have to go into the pits and kind of roll through the pits as your penalty time. So just want to explain that to them.
If I'm correct, it is the Formula 1 pits. It's not the full pit lane. So be thankful.
Yes.
Be thankful it's not the full one, because that will hurt you a ton here. Here is Pala then. P3 in the first race, up into P7. Just looking on the timing screens at the minute. Big gainer so far. Leo Dragotta up 8 places on this opening lap. Hooverson, we said keep an eye on him. He's also up 8 places, as is Mike Brooks. So Hooverson already on the move. He's gained another 2 places as Hooverson. He's up to 25th already, so he is on a charge. Wedstead here though, P9 at the moment on the back of De Paula. He's got Torchio and Soto just behind him as that is Torchio having a look up the inside, nearly contacts made in towards the bus stop chicane, and Soto gets a watching brief and the best seat in the house as that all unravelled there. Down it towards the source they come again. Castro leading the way from Toth, from Polasek, from Karen, from Nesov, and there is still movers and shakers up and down the field already. That of Gregory Hooverson is up 12 places. He's up to 23rd place. We said keep an eye on him. He is absolutely flying in this back half of the field. This is Wedstead though, coming up to El Rouge. He's got Brown, who he had such a good fight with in race 1, ahead of him once again. Then it's Soto, now in that top 10 spot on the back of Torchio. Pulls that outside line. Down the Camel straight they come. Soto looking to make the move into Lacombe. He's got Brown right on the back of him. Round the outside of the first part. Gives you the inside line for the next bit. Contact made. Soto a little wide. That's going to gift it through to Brown and also to Wedstead as well. 2 places gain there. Bit of hip and shoulder from Torchio and Soto there, Sam.
Oh, that was unlucky stuff there, just with the way that the contact worked on iRacing. They sort of like glued together slightly, and that put both cars offline, but fortunately they avoid having any significant off and hitting any walls or anything like that. And of course with the batsing around them as well, they're all just going to bunch back up together, but that's still a bit of a setback for a couple of those guys. Cameron Brown up 8 places. Absolutely phenomenal for him, and I think Brown was one of the drivers who had quite a bit of damage in race 1, and so he would just be relishing the actual opportunity to race. Before, he was so slow down the straights, he couldn't properly battle, couldn't attack, he couldn't defend. Now he is right in play, and these guys are right in play as well, because Andrew Castro, despite being lead, doesn't seem like he has got a penalty, but he's not pulling away. The top 8 separated by less than 2 seconds right now.
Absolutely
Andre
fantastic.
Castro is a NASCAR Xfinity Series driver, so he's out of New York City by way of Chicago. And exciting to see him out there.
There we go, NASCAR driver leading the way. And this is Nesov, your race 1 winner, who's just about to be sent one by Pala up the inside into the bus stop chicane. Tight squeeze on the sausage curb goes Pala. That compromises his run, and he tucks back in behind. Just saying, you saying there about Cameron Brown up 8 spots. Hooverson 13, 22nd place. I said keep your eyes on him. He's going to charge through the field. Pala having another look into La Source up the inside of Nesov. Gets the move done now. Nesov gave him plenty of respect there. A very wide berth. Polasek ahead of Karen. The teammates going at it once again, but it's Castro, Toff, Polasek, Karen, Pella and Nesov. And this inverted top 8 is proving to be beautifully done at the moment. Down with Wedstead. He's got Soto on the back of him, getting the run and the launch over Lacombe and over Radion. They go down towards Lacombe. This is Toth in the slipstream. Pulls to the outside line. Taking Polasek with him. Breaks a little later than Castro. Can't get around the outside of him there, though, into Lacombe. So far, so good. Castro's doing the job he needs to do.
Yeah, he's just about doing enough. Was that a slowdown?
Slowdown. Yeah.
Oh, no, there's contact. Toth goes round, and he'll be at the back now of this lead train. So it was so odd because it seemed like Castro slowed down a lot. Maybe he cut Lecum a little bit too much because he was lifting off so early, and it looked like it was just going to be Toth easily going around the outside, but no, it wasn't.
Love to get a replay of that to see who actually made the contact with Toth there. Down into 8th place. Remember, Toth in race 1 had no rear wing towards the end of that race. That's what gave him the pole position in this race. He's back down to 8th, having a great battle with DePaula now. And Brown on the outside in towards the chicane they come, and he manages to hang on to 8th place. But yeah, definite slowdown from Castro there. So let's take a look. This is on board with Polasek. So Castro's got the slowdown. He's pulled to the middle of the circuit. Yeah, you just see that little bit of netcode. If you're wondering why he hasn't actually made contact with him, it's a little thing we call netcode. It's just that little bit of connection between the two drivers has just caused the contact to be made that would have been made. But obviously the netcode doesn't show it up. So yeah, I don't know really who to say that was on. Was that on Toth for turning in a little too much?
Blame it on the Matrix again.
Yeah, exactly. Toth has moved back up into 7th place. He's got ahead of Nick DePaula. And he's fortunate, Chris, to be on this pack still, because a spin like that or a slide like that could have easily tumbled him down the order and put him out of contention for a podium.
Yeah, that was a great recovery, and that's half the battle, right? In racing, knowing when to hold them, when to fold them. So it's great to see him back out there.
This is Karen on the back of Polasek, his teammate in this championship, both for the WSR esports team. There is, I don't believe there's a team championship. It is all solo entry drivers, but a lot of them coming from the same teams, which is great to see teams being represented. Polasek gets the run on Castro down down the Camel straight in towards Lacombe. Castro's pretty much pushing Polasek past that of Castro. Bit of hip and shoulder on the inside of Lacombe through the second part. Castro will hold it strong into the right-hander once again. Still side by side. And Karen gets through. Great move around the outside. And has Castro got another off track to give him a slowdown? No, don't believe so. Pulled into the middle of the road once again. But it's all good for him so far. And it's the WSR esports boys who are 1-2 at the moment. Sam, great job from them too.
Yeah,
Castro, that's what we call getting jumped. He got jumped by these two teammates. So he survived it, though. He's in 3rd, but it was great teamwork to move up to the front.
Yeah, that was a freight train situation, wasn't it? One slipstream fast, puts him offline, and then, yeah, the other goes through as well. When it comes to the slowdowns, by the way, if anyone's not aware, so what happens is that if you cut a corner, and it doesn't have to be a lot, you can just go slightly beyond the track limits, you can basically get a slowdown message in the game, and that will force you to maybe lift off a little bit, and you might lose maybe half a second to a second, and that can be really costly. So if anyone cuts a corner, then they risk doing that. So whenever you mention a slowdown, that's what that means.
It's amazing, the rules in iRacing. Sometimes when people get in simulators for the first time, they're super excited. And they realize it's not Mario Kart, right? This is real racing, this is real physics, and they're like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. So part of what we do as Foxxtecca is provide opportunities just outside of racing, right? So let them know you can do broadcasting, you can do marketing if you don't feel like you have the talent to race. So
just noticed Toff got past Nesov. Here he is. While we was just looking there at that of Hooverson, you will notice that he's got a bit of front end damage. The bonnet just looks a little crumpled, that on the front bumper. So clearly being in the wars, gained 14 places, so he's doing pretty well at the moment, but he has been in the wars so far. Toff back ahead of Nesov now, so that's for 6th and 7th. And I know it's early in the championship. I know it's only the first week of racing. Karen, if the result stays this way, will have a nice cushion over Nesov going into week 2 at Sebring next week then. And this is looking pretty juicy. And if Spa's been this good, Sebring could be even better.
Yeah, Sebring's always a really good track for these cars. We've got a bit of alongside Tyler Campbell and Alessandro Torchio. Torchio's got the inside for the final bit of Lake Coombe, and they come so close to contact, and that was, yeah, fortunate there wasn't any netcode on that occasion. So Torchio is in 13th place then, behind Campbell after all of that, but yeah, he's getting really close to retaking that position. And then Leo Dragota up 8 places just behind these guys, and he might be up 9 places very soon, because that's a little bit of a wide move for Torchio. Dips away onto the gravel, that sticks really to the car. It sort of bogs you down a little bit. It really affects your speed quite a bit, and that is what cost him on the corner exit. And Leo Dragota does not need a second invitation, and he's now up 9 places from his race start.
Soto side by side through the chicane. There you go once again. Soto will then be on the outside line coming in towards Campus. Real tricky section of the circuit, this little bit. Campus and Stavolo then. Very easy to go a little bit too wide into the gravel there, and then maybe pick up an off track for dropping it too wide here, as well as kicking up a bit of gravel. Soto still behind Brown. They've got Wedstead behind them as well. So it'll be interesting to see this fight play out. Hooverson up to 19th place now, 16 places he's gained. Dragota up 9 as well. Big movers. Mike Brooks down in 23rd place. He's up 16. Thomas Critchell only up 11. Not seen him come through the pack like I think we expected him to. But Soto bides his time, waits. Brown goes a little deep. That seems to have been Brown's sort of go-to defensive manoeuvre, if you will. He just kind of outbreaks himself into that chicane, and it helps him defend and get a run out the chicane better than the car behind. Cameron Brown, who had that front bumper damage, if you remember, the bumper came off in that first race, was struggling on the straights, got spun around later on in the race. We're at the 12-minute mark, lap 6. It's Polasek from Karen from Castro, your top 3 at the moment. This is Cameron Brown down in 9th place, with that of Soto on the back of him as they come over Radion once again. Chris, how are you finding the second race here? Obviously the top 8 inverted. It's brought a lot of action.
A lot of action. It's exciting to see these guys navigate this course inverted, but you know, from top to bottom, everybody's fighting. I still got goosebumps, guys. They haven't went down, so I'm loving this race.
So Soto then coming through. A lot of curb that from Brown. It looked like it did unsettle the car a little bit. Soto's not got alongside, so obviously not, but it was a lot of curb from Brown there. Coming through the right-hand bend in towards No Name they come to now. And Soto doing a heck of a job. Hooverson's moved up to 18th place. He is on a mission. That is 17 places gained in this second race at the moment. He's got a bit of ground to make up on that. Sorry, I say a bit of ground. He's only got 0.4 of a second. So he could be on this pack of these two within the next 5 or 10 minutes.
Shout out Jesse Bissett. He's with the U.S. Army esports team. So I didn't even know the U.S. Army had an esports team, but he's currently sitting, I think, in 19th. So big shout out to him and the U.S. Army for, you know, being a part of this event.
That's funny that the US Army's got an esports team. I was watching the British Touring Car Championship at the weekend and saw something on Instagram. And there was something to do with the Army here in the UK. They got a team that entered the Citroen C1 24-hour race or something. And I saw that, and weird how within the space of 3 days, there's 2 Army teams out there. One in the sim world, one in the real world. Great to have the US Army esports team out on the grid. Great to see the armed forces representing out here. Always a privilege to see them taking part. Mullings coming under pressure from Hooverson. He's coming under pressure. The pressure may have been lifted because Hooverson's going to go right around the outside, tucks underneath for the inside, and that is a job done. Hooverson is driving like a man possessed, and he's got one goal in mind, and that's to get to the top 10, Sam.
And it's not a clean car at all. I mean, he's been in some wars in this second race. That is a very deformed front end of his car, and that will be affecting his straight line speed. I feel like we've seen a lot of cars sort of drop back with even less damage than that, but he is still moving forwards. It's certainly not helping him, but he could still get a few more places by the end of this race. We're now watching Cameron Brown once again on the defense. He's got used to it today, but Sotto looks very, very strong right now, and he is able to move up into P9. It was a bad first sector, maybe a mistake, I think, at La Source for Brown, and that left him a little bit vulnerable. And Sotto will now try to break the draft from these cars behind and try to join up to that pack ahead, because the top 8 are still sort of a group. They're about 3 seconds separating the top 8, and Sotto wants to be part of that.
Let's go see what Kingston Mullins is doing. We got some fans in the chat. What's Kingston got going on? He's in the 18th spot right now.
Yes, yeah, he's just ahead, just behind Hooverson. He's just been overtaken by Hooverson. If he can stick with Gregory here, then Kingston might be able to just try and follow Hooverson through and be put onto that pack in front. It's always interesting to see when you're down the bottom end of the pack and you've got one of the quicker drivers coming through the pack. If you can try and stick with him, learn his lines, maybe pick up his braking zones or something. Always interesting to learn while you're going. You're never fully satisfied as a race driver. You're always learning and adapting as you go along, even in the sim world. So this for Mullings could be an interesting one to try and follow Hooverson onto the back of Brown in 16th place. But Mullings P18 at the moment, up 6 places, so a good race for him so far. It's been an absolute flyer. The only person that I can see at the moment, by the way, who hasn't gained or lost a place, Zohair Ahmed. Started 15th, has stayed 15th. With all the dramas around him, he's managed to stay exactly where he started.
Consistency, right?
Yeah, exactly. This is Toth now on the back of Smith. Just to say, Cuthbert is a lap down. He's been in the pits. Jordan Wallace is still in the pits. And Fenderson has been in the pits. He's only done 1 lap, so it looks like he is out of this race. Wallace and Cuthbert. Wallace in the pits. Cuthbert has been in the pits. This is Toth, though, on the back of Smith, the Hungarian driver. Was P8 in the first race. Currently sat P6. Gets a heck of a run up El Rouge over Radion. Now gets the run. Pulls out early to that outside line, coming down the Kemmel Straight for the 8th time of asking. Toth has now got himself ahead of Smith on the timing tower. Will he be able to brave it around the outside? Doesn't need to. He's done it before the braking zone, Sam.
Yeah, and that was nice teamwork as well. You just saw Pala, Toth's teammate there. He was able to give his teammate a bit of a draft down that straight. Even though they were about a second between each other, they could still help each other, and once again that teamwork really coming to fruition. So Toth recovering some place. Remember, Toth started this race in first, and it really feels like he could have won this race, but it was just a really crazy first couple of laps where the drivers were struggling to get into a rhythm on those cold tyres, and it sort of mixed it up. But Toth is on the comeback trail now, and he might still have aspirations of a podium by the end of this race, as Kingston Mullings has had not an awful moment, but he's lost a couple of places. He's down to 21st.
Yeah, down to 21st.
And Wedsted as well has had an issue as well. He's dropped a couple of places, down to 14. Sorry to interrupt.
So it's all right. Tokyo just lost a couple of places as well in all of that. Frickman as well has just had a moment. Wedsted still dropping back. So Wedsted somewhere. Then Ahmed's now, I believe, no, he stayed as he is. Still nothing on the board. Wedsted, though, has dropped even more there. Interesting. Hooverson's now up to 14th, just to point out. So he is absolutely flying up 21 places. He's gaining on Dragotta, but he's got 3.5 seconds till he gets to Dragotta. So Hooverson's got to do some work. We're over the halfway stage at this moment. It is Polasek from Karen from Castro. And the lead is up to 1.2 seconds. So Karen's just lost out a little bit to his teammates here. Just noticing as well on the timing screens that very few drivers have hit the 2-minute 16s. As I say that, the top 4 have just put in 2-minute 16s. And a new fastest lap, 2-minute 16.5 from Foxxtecca. So pulling out 0.4 of a second over his teammate there that lap. That's a good chunk of time to pull forward, isn't it, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, halfway through, it's time to start thinking of some game plans to get forward while keeping those cars pretty. So we'll see how this all plays out. This is I keep on saying it is go time.
Jake Bunny in the chat saying that the US Army has an SCCA touring team in real life as well. So not just an esports team, but a touring team. And what has happened to Nesov? Because Smith there, like he hit a nitrous button, engaged it, gets past Toth into Lacombe. Lovely move to take that place back. Toth is in the middle of a fight here with Smith, and it is not going to go the way that Toth wanted this time around, at least. Nesov, who started 8th, let's not forget, didn't go through the pack with Karen, and he's P7. We're not seeing that outright pace that we saw in qualifying.
Yeah, he's not being super aggressive right now, is Nesov, and that's fine. Like P7 would be good, and you know you get a lot of points for P1. So I think it's 50 points for P1, 45 for P2. So you know he will still, I think, be leader of the championship. Will or maybe Foxxtecca actually might be leader of the championship because he managed to finish in P5. Or maybe even higher than that in race 1. So it's still good points for Nesov, and he's not taking any unreasonable risks. But yeah, he is getting a little bit stuck behind here. Toth, who moments ago I was saying how Toth was moving his way up. Now he seems to be dropping back. He's already dropped a second behind Smith, and only a matter of time till Nesov overtakes him as well, it looks like.
Yeah, very interesting. Jake in the chat as well saying that he used to race for the US Army team. Oh, congratulations, Jake. I hope your career was a good one, to be fair. Let us know if you.
Yeah, I raced once upon a time for the Mario Kart championship. You know, that's about where my racing highlights go.
Brilliant to see. Here's Dragotta on the back of Torchia. Hooverson in the background, lurking in the wings. Who is that actually behind? Is that a car lapped down that's behind? Because there's Hooverson. Yeah, it's P30.
Yeah, Cuthbert.
There we go, Cuthbert, who is a lap down at the moment. Foxxtecca nearly 2 seconds ahead of Karen here, so he has got a comfortable lead in this one. And Toth, whatever was happening to him, he's back within 0.6 of Smith, so must have been just a bit of a bad lap last time around. Hooverson, 14th place. Critchell up to 23rd, some big climbers in this race. So far, Dragotta over Radion. Now we'll get that slipstream and that draft. Can he use it down the straight? Here's Nesov, pulls out to have a look up the inside of Toth into Lacombe. Nesov and Toth side by side. Plenty of respect given by the both. And we stay as we were. We can all calm back down. And like Sam was just saying, Nesov in 7th, it's still good points. And at the end of the day, points mean prizes. And that's the bonus for Nesov, the consistency of a championship. It's not about winning every race. It's about being the most consistent.
Yeah, it's so important for these guys, and yeah, Nesov will know not to. Yeah, we'll make those sensible decisions through the season, I'm sure. But yeah, he's still a little bit stuck behind. DePaula and Sotto catching up. Sotto will be very pleased with how this race is going. He's really putting himself back into play in 13th on the grid. He's really chasing down these guys who started near the front. As Chris Wetz, by the way, has just moved up into 23rd place, and Thomas Critchell has had a little bit of an issue. You just see him on the time board, unfortunately, slip off the board and has fallen way down the order. So bad news for any Thomas Critchell fans in the chat.
Yeah, not the night for Thomas Critchell, but I suppose this is what the drop round is for, and it will bring. He obviously had that disconnection in race 1. Great team come back in and finish the race, so that's what we always like to see. Tyler Campbell's got himself in a place now where he's neither gained or lost a place. He's down in P11 at the moment. And Dragotta still on the back of Torchio in 12th and 13th. Replay time here then. This is Critchell. This is the moment that happened to him then. So he's coming down towards the hairpin on the outside, getting squeezed a little bit. A bit of netco taps him in the rear, sends him off at the hairpin corner. A little bit silly. They're a little bit of a
as well.
Together. Oh, and then he's dropped it. Yeah. That'll be the gravel on the tyres, won't it? They're just the dirty tyres as he gets back up to speed.
Yes, he'll be disappointed that we showed that, but there we are. Yeah, that's a shame for Critchell, and yeah, down to 30th place now. Still 7 places up from his race start. It shows how good he was driving. That even after that, he's still up 7 places. But yeah, he's leaked about 10 places right now.
I said watch for him and Hooverson. Well, Mike Brooks has gained 20 places. He's 19th, so keep your eyes on him as well. As here comes Nesov to the outside of Toth Jagotta. We've just lost from this race. He was fighting for P11 with Torchio there. So
he's back.
Yep, he's back. So that would have just been a blip in his connection, but he is back. Toth managed to fend off that of Nesov. I do believe the timing tower is saying they are pretty much together. They are together, coming through the hairpin there in towards No Name. There you go. Toth's going to have the inside line back. He'll keep that position now, but they was absolutely together there. And Toth, for now, is hanging on to this place, but this is bringing DePaula into play just behind Nesov.
What's Robertson doing out there? I see Robertson's been holding in the 20th spot. Steady ready, trying to make his way up.
He's at P20, lost 2 places in this race at the moment, but he's doing a good job. He's defending from the US Army Esports team of Justin Bassett's car. But this is the fight for 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th. There's Cameron Brown, who will be, I suppose, joyful at the fact that he's P10 in this second race, given the disasters of race 1. Russell Soto having a great second race as well. He's on the back of DePaula with Nesov and Toth just in front. Karen as well, he has not had the pace that he had that he was showing in race 1. He's not been able to stick with Polisek. He's got Castro on the back of him as they come through Blanchimont in towards the bus stop chicane. 5 minutes left on the clock. So this is now go time for all these drivers to try and make some moves.
Yeah, not much time remaining now for these guys, and also, yeah, bunching up behind Andre Castro. And yeah, Soto at the back of this train. But they've all got the draft a little bit on each other, so it will be tricky for each one of them to make a move. Nesov continues to hound the back of David Toth's car. Behind them, they've sort of spread out a little bit, as Mike Brooks, by the way, has had to make a pit stop, so I'm not sure if he's underfueled or something. The first race was 25 minutes, albeit this is a fixed setup, so they can't underfuel, so that was a silly idea for me. I don't know what's happened to Mike Brooks. Maybe he's gone over the instant limit. There is a 20 instant limit, and maybe that's the reason why he's coming, but whatever happens, it's dropped him off the timing board. As Castro has got past Karen for second place, and Nesov has got past Toth as well, so they changed positions once again, so Nesov up into P6. But yeah, that was Castro gets him past Karen, so Karen dropping back to 3rd place, and Andre Castro back on the move again.
He is back on the move again, and all them places that Brooks had just gained are sort of dwindling away from him. What a shame, because he was having such a good race out there. But Nesov up into 6th. You said yourself a moment ago, Sam, he's just being patient, not being too aggressive. 5 minutes after the race is now the time that Nesov's decided to pull the trigger and go for this one and really put his foot to the floor and try and make some moves with 5 minutes to go. Castro as well, like you said, up into P2 ahead of Karen, and that is a little wide from Pala there. That has opened the door up for the exit of Puon for Nesov to get side by side. He's got the nose in front, you see on the overhead shot. In towards the chicane they come. Nesov inside line for the left-hander. He's made up 2 places this lap. He's now decided that it's hammer time. Nesov,
That was
P5.
very well choreographed from Nesov. And yeah, let's see if he can sprint away. I don't know what's going on with Pala. Pala seemed so slow through the first part of Puon. It's very unusual to see him being overtaken around that part of the circuit. As a Soto just behind, you can see he's alongside DePaula and has moved up into P8. So Soto will be chasing these guys down, as Nesov will have to go all the way to the right. No, a lot of lifting.
Polisek's in the pits.
There.
Sorry, Sam.
Oh, no.
Polisek is into the pit lane, and he's just... I don't know why, but the race winner's just gone from him. Soto as well is into the pit lane. So what has happened here?
Well, maybe it's just that they need to make a pit stop, I think, with the setup. I think it was just enough for the 25 minutes. But I think they're having to make a pit stop for this race, just because the fuel consumption is so high here at Spa. So they'll take a little bit of fuel and get back on their way. They would have known that before the race, I think. I think they would have all planned this out. But yeah, let's see how they do. And some of these drivers maybe are fuel saving, so they can get to the end of the race.
Well, I was just about to say, I've just said a moment ago that Karen hasn't had the pace he's had in race 1. Fuel saving, possibly, from him. Also, Nesov hasn't gone through the field. Has he been fuel saving this whole time and has now decided it's time to turn it up and go for it? This is Toth and Pala. This may explain here, Chris, some of the drivers all of a sudden looking relatively slow at the back half of this race.
Yeah, I didn't realize that, some of the fuel and tires from kind of that much consumption on the sprint. So it's exciting to see that kind of come into play to the race, because to see the leader pit and his teammate was completely unexpected.
So interesting here, Castro leads from Karen with now Smith on the podium. Nesov is P4. So if it is a fuel strategy tactic that Nesov and Karen have played out, it has worked an absolute blinder. If they get to the end, there will be one more lap after this. And what a race it has been here to open this season. This is the league by Foxxtecca. Round 1 here at Spa. Race 1 and 2 has been absolutely fantastic. And it isn't done yet. We will get one last lap of racing action to bring you here at the end. It's been brilliant so far. Just a few back markers just staying out the way of the lead traffic here, and De Paula on the back of Pella and Toth. So De Paula here could fancy himself with a bit of a higher finish.
Castro's seems like he's gonna hang on for this one.
Yeah, we've got one more lap to go. So I think a lot of the reason why a lot of drivers have pitted is because they thought, okay, we can do 13 laps. And then it's gone over to 14 laps, which is what Castro's about to force here. And they thought, uh-oh, I wasn't prepared for 14 laps. And so Nesov maybe is the one who's nailed the fuel. Or maybe it's David Toth going to nail the fuel. But everyone else is going to have to take the extra lap. Nesov has absolutely nailed this. We thought he was maybe being a bit passive. No, he was driving this perfectly.
This is fantastic. If Nesov and Toth have pulled this off, that is brilliant strategy from them. Polasek back up into P3. Castro and Karen are on the pit exit now. This has been fantastic from Alexei Nesov, who could take double race wins here at Spa. Wow. Absolutely flabbergasted.
What a strategy.
We've just got to touch wood now, fingers crossed, toes crossed, that Nesov and Toth do not run out of fuel by the end of this race. Polasek has pitted. He's 8 seconds behind Toth at the moment. This is going to be crucial. As well, by the way, Hoverson has been flying all race. He's now into the top 9. He's pitted as well. So he's done a pit stop, gained places from the pit stop. He's gone up 26 places into 9th place. Hoverson, absolutely fantastic stuff from him in this race. We're on the final lap here, though, and it is Nesov and Toth. But keep your eyes on them, because if they start to slow down, they have possibly run out of fuel. They could have judged this to absolute perfection. And if they have, what a strategy. But for Alexei Nesov here, he's got about half a lap, Sam, to go before crossing that finish line.
I mean, this is what 11K looks like. I've been ranting on about how good he is, and we've got the 2 highest I-rated drivers at the front of the field come the end of this race, and it shows it's not just about pace, it's about experience on iRacing. These guys have probably done over 1,000 races each, and so they knew what to do with the fuel, and they were just in that jar saving fuel. And Alexei Nesov is going to have a commanding lead in the championship after today's result.
He really is. Alexei Nesov then comes through Blanchimont, and it looks like there's going to be no slowing him down. It is going to be a second win of the day and a great start to his championship campaign. Alexei Nesov enters and exits the bus stop chicane. A bit of a slide on exit. He will be the double winner here at Spa. Alexei Nesov takes the checkered flag. Toth will come home for second place, just ahead of Polasek there in the background. P3 for him after leading for so long. Karen has got ahead. Castro, what has happened to Castro at the end? He's tumbled down the order. Pala here, side by side with De Paula. Castro's out of this race. What has happened? Did he not fuel enough on the pit stop?
It was quite a normal pit stop for him. It was quite a standard time, so I'm not sure if it's that. I reckon it's probably like a connection issue or something for Andre Castro, but what a shame for him. He led for so much of this race.
It's Hooverson, 24 places gained. But Chris, what a start to the season.
Man, what a start to see the skills, and just you forget sometimes how much strategy is involved in motorsports, and just to watch that clinic, he just slowly creeped up the entire time, and for Nesov to take the lead was for me, completely unexpected. It was a clinic.
He did a 2-minute 16.4 as well at the end of that race. So you could tell that he was obviously on the go. So hadn't done a 2:16 all race. He then must have turned it down for that last lap because he did a 2:17.2. So definitely decided to just have one lap where he could show what he could do. And he really pulled it out the bag. This is Robertson crossing the line. Mike Mann, P27, at the moment gets himself ahead of Castro, with Castro not finishing this race. The roasted record racing car, obviously the proud sponsor here of the league by Foxxtecca. Mike Mann will cross the line 27th. Garland just behind him 28th. We've got Ware and Laws out there as well. What a night's worth of action, Sam. What a strategy from Nesov. And like you said, that's what 11k iRating gets you.
Yeah, I think the important thing to note is that I think the only reason why there was a pit stop was because we went the 14th lap. So you would have seen on the timing tower, Nesov crossed the line to start that last lap with about 10 seconds to go. So if the leaders weren't as quick as what they were, basically, and that could just be the track temperature just being a little bit higher, that would have been enough to make it a 13-lap race, and we wouldn't have had all that mess at the end of the race. Instead, because it was a 14-lap race, Nesov saw it early. He thought, we're going so quick here, we're going to force the extra lap, I'm going to save fuel, and perfected that amazingly. So yeah, great work from him.
Great work from him. A great bit of racing as well to see everybody here at the end. Race 2 results had Alexei Nesov P1 from David Toth with Polasek P3. Andrew Karen was 4th place from Zane Smith. Nick DePaula from Balaz Pala. Gregory Hooverson up a mighty 27 places. Leo Dragotta as well up 13. Good stuff from him. Alessandro Torchio P10. Tyler Campbell from Richard Wedsted. Zohair Ahmed was P13. Ismail Arafag P14. Cameron Brown from Chris Wetz. Thomas Critchell and Lucas Souza, your top 18. What a day of racing here at Spa. P21. I don't know what's happened to 19th and 20th, but 19th and 20th was Anthony Jenkins and Jack Linder is what I've got on the timer screen. Then it was Russell Soto, 22nd. What a shame from Soto, was really up at the order in the top 10. Then it was Jason Frickman, Tyler King, Kyle Robertson, Kingston Mullings from Mike Mann, Lewis Garland, Anthony Jenkins, Alan Ware, Jonathan Laws from Andre Castro, who was obviously leading this race at one point, Justin Bassett, Miles Brown, James Loverin from Ryan Woodside, Anthony Cuthbert, Mike Brooks and Jordan Wallace, with then Lance Fenderson down in 39th place. Chris, what a race, what a day.
What a day. It was so exciting. It was everything I could have dreamed of. Round 1 of the league is in the books, and both races were exciting. Big shout out to everybody who participated in it. It was awesome to watch. I'm getting a lot of great feedback via text message and from the chats. Everybody was really on the edge of their seats enjoying the racing.
And we do have one driver in the commentary box, and that is Cameron. I'm assuming Cameron Brown. So we'll bring him in for a quick chat. Cameron, welcome to the commentary box. You are live on the channel. Just talk a bit about tonight.
Yeah, that was a fun one. I haven't done sprint race leagues before, so this was a bit new for me. It was a fun one. Had some good battles in the first race. A little bit of contact with Tyrone, but that was good fun. Second race, I thought I calculated the laps correctly, and I was one off. It looks like everybody else was as well. I'm in VR, so I don't have overlays. So before I get in the car, I have to just kind of guess at what it's going to be and just sit there and click back to the black box whenever I want to know. But it was a good time.
Was you expecting to make a pit stop in that second race?
No, not at all. No, I was fuel saving. So a couple things that happened. The result from race 1 kind of put me at a disadvantage because I had to do quite a bit of overtaking at the beginning of race 2. So that kind of put me off a bit for the fuel. But no, I wasn't expecting to stop at all.
Talk us through race 1. Obviously, we saw the damage to the front of the car in that first race. You had a bit of a moment as well where you were spun around. You was doing very well to hang on in there. A great defensive drive.
Yeah, no, it was a good one. It's difficult around this track when you have people around the same pace. If you lose the toe of the car in front of you, it's pretty impossible. You just get stuck defending lap after lap. But yeah, I was quite happy with it, with my performance, and some contact happened, and that's all right. Just a small incident. That's all.
We go to Sebring next time out. Do you enjoy the circuit? What can you do around there?
Sebring's a good time. I haven't driven it in a GT3 before, usually an LMP2, so it'll be a bit of a learning curve for me, but I'm quite excited.
And lastly, anybody you'd like to thank?
Huge shout out to Effect Simulations, effectsimulations.uk. You can buy turnkey sims and rigs, as well as computers.
There we go. Cameron, we'll let you go. Congratulations. Yep. Oh, but well done tonight. I can't say congratulations, really. But well done tonight. Good race too as well. And we'll see you next time.
Yep, thanks for having
me. Sam, we've got a couple more in the waiting room. Who would you like us to bring in? I'll let you take this next one.
Yeah, I'll drag in Andrew Caron because he had such a fantastic points haul today with a 2nd position in race 1 and a 4th position in race 2. Andrew, congratulations. Let's go back to race 1 and that really great battle that you had for 2nd position. But in those early stages when you were behind Nesov, we saw you lifting off rather than going for the move. I mean, were you feeling confident at that point of the race in race 1? Because it seemed like Alexei maybe just had a little bit too much pace in that one.
I think early on the lap, I think he had quite a good pace. But I was actually trying to save as much tires as I could and trying to see if I could do something at the end. But I think it was really close. I think the bus stop was where I caught up back to him, and I think it worked pretty well. So I don't think I was that much off to him, but it would have been pretty hard to do a move on race 1 for sure.
And then did you see what was going on, I guess, in your mirrors in race 1 with quite a big collision? I remember Gregory Hoverson was involved and a couple of others. Did you get a particularly clear view of that? And what were you thinking in the car at the time?
Well, I was doing the corner and then I was on the exit just watching ahead, and my teammate Spolasek actually was in the incident. So he actually he was reacting to the accident. I think he was not too happy with the driving around him, but quite a big one behind me, that's for sure.
Yeah, took out a couple of your rivals, and then race 2, you were in the mix for the whole race. I mean, when was it that you realised that the extra lap was going to be forced, and was there any temptation for yourself to save the extra lap of fuel, or was it too late by that point?
Well, it was. I wish I was more prepared for that second race for sure. I just knew before the start of the race that we actually were that close to make it with no stop. So I just tried to manage my fuel and see what I could do, but then I realized I was just going too fast to make it. So I tried to save as much at the end, and it still didn't work. So at that point, I should have just went for it for at least half of the race, which I didn't. So I actually had to pit and put like 2 laps of fuel, which was way too much. But it still worked. So I guess P4 is all right, but I feel kind of bad on myself right now. I could have done way better in that second race, I feel like.
Sure. Well, I think you still scored the 2nd most amount of points of anyone today, so still a good result for you. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, for sure. I want to shout out everybody at WSR Esports and my teammate Michael Polisek for actually driving with me tonight. And also I want to shout out Nisab. He actually did really well tonight. I hope I can actually start battling him in the next rounds.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, we're hoping for that as well. You need to give him a good run for his money. And it should be really great to see all you guys battle this season. Thanks for having a chat with us, Andrew, and best of luck for next time.
Thank you very much.
Andrew Caron there, 2nd and 4th today. And like I said, I think he was the 2nd highest scorer across the evening, so that's really good for him. Chris, I don't know if you wanted to maybe have an interview with one of the judges. I don't know if there's someone that you're seeing in the interview waiting area that you particularly want to have a chat with, or you can leave it to me and Matthew.
Yeah, let's talk to Justin Brissett. Let's get him in, and you guys would talk. I mean, I could chime in. Let's talk to him for a little. Justin, what's going on, man?
Hey, how we doing?
Good. Everything's good, man. Thank you for joining the league this season. So how do you feel about round 1?
Well, I definitely got some work on pace to do, but I was looking for a league that's going to give me a little bit more of a challenge, kind of bring my pace up. Everything you do in life, if you're up against people that are harder to race against, you're going to get better.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Did you have any strategy coming into this race? Like, what were your thoughts, especially on race 2?
So race 2 last night, I actually ran the little exhibition practice lobby, and I started lap 1 saving heavy on fuel. And I think I was 13th coming across the line with the white flag, but ran out coming down the backstretch.
Man, so at least now it's unfortunate. Like a lot, I'm looking in the chat now. A lot of guys are talking about the fuel strategy and just for the next races, just really learning how to pace and figure it out because that hurt a lot of guys. It was a big shuffle towards the end of the race.
Yeah, I mean, retrospectively, since we went 14, I actually kind of wish I just would have went from the word go and just took the pit stop and called it a day. But hindsight's 2020, and anyone can be a perfect strategist after the race.
That's very true. And the good thing is for a lot of people that there's always a race that could come off the book. So if this isn't somebody's best performance or your best performance, there's a lot more racing to go.
I mean, looking at the caliber of driver versus where my current level is at, my goal is top 30s, which I had a 19th and a 28th tonight. So maybe I need to reconsider my goals and set them a little bit higher.
There you go. I love it. I love the energy, man. Keep pushing, keep driving. We're excited to have you on. We're excited to have the U.S. Army here in the league and you're representing them. Thank you for your service. And I look forward to seeing you out there in race 2.
Yeah, excellent. Thanks for having me. And yeah, I plan to be here all season.
Good stuff. They're brilliant to see you, Justine. Hopefully, see you next time out on the track. And we've got Michael Polasek left to have a chat with. So let's bring him in. Michael, welcome to the commentary box. Well, it was an interesting race too. The pit stop. Talk us through that one.
Well, I realized eventually once I made it up to the front that the fuel save was going to be borderline impossible, given that if we were going to be running 3 seconds off the pace, which was happening before I got up to the front, then the race wouldn't go the extra lap. And the fuel save at this point was just going to be, I feel like, unrealistically difficult without a draft partner. So I just decided, you know what, I'm just going to send it and go flat out, and whatever happens, happens. And fortunately, enough people botched their pit strategy that I was able to secure the P3. But if I had to do that race again, I maybe just would have fuel saved and then attacked at the end. It's very difficult to know what to do when the fuel's this tight with a 30-minute race. With a 35-minute race, that definitely would force a pit stop, and then we would all be able to run much harder.
It was a great race, though, in terms of the way you got to the front. You had to do some overtaking. Race 1 as well was a pretty decent race for yourself and the WSR team. It looked like you're up for this season.
Yeah, I'm pretty new to these GT3 cars. They're very interesting to drive. They require a pretty different driving style compared to every other car in the iRacing service. So it's going to be a season of adaptation and just getting comfortable with the car, and whatever happens, happens.
Spa, obviously a great way to open the calendar. We head to Sebring next time out. What can you do around there? Sebring obviously being such a different circuit to this one.
I really like Sebring, but it's going to be very challenging in this car, especially with the cold tires. And with this setup on, the car has very little low-speed traction, so you have to be extremely careful on throttle over the bumps and everywhere. So it's going to be a very mentally demanding race, I will say that.
And finally, anybody you'd like to thank?
Yeah, first of all, thank you to WSR Esports for all the support they give, and also Next Level Racing and Abruzzi for all the support they give as well. And thank you to my teammate, Andrew Karam, for pretty much teaching me everything I know about these cars. Without him, I definitely wouldn't have done as well as he did, well, as I did.
Well, Michael, congratulations this evening. Well done. And we'll see you next time out at Sebring.
Thank you very much.
And Sam, we've got Tyrone Roberts, last one left in the waiting area. We'll drag him in.
Yes, Tyrone, thanks for joining us. Can you hear us all right?
Yes, I can hear you.
Awesome. Well, let's go back to race 1 then, and I guess a little bit of a frustrating one for yourself because you're P9, 1 place away from the reverse grid pole, and I think another half lap, and you would have got the reverse grid pole because you had a very damaged car just in front of you.
Yeah, I did. It was an interesting one, and the second race kind of threw me for a loop. I should have tested this yesterday. I left. I needed to leave during the first race or after the first race practice yesterday. This fuel saving kind of threw me for a loop today. I wasn't expecting that.
Sure, yeah, you were one of the last to go into the pits, but yeah, that extra 14th lap was slightly against yourself in the end. But how was the racing out there? I mean, it looked so competitive out there, and that race one in particular, you had some brilliant battles against some of your rivals. I think Cameron Brown in particular, you guys seem to be absolutely glued to each other.
Yeah, me and him were kind of going back and forth for a little bit. He did some defending. Some of it I didn't like too much, but I mean, it is what it is. It's racing. No one's just gonna give it up, right?
Absolutely. And looking ahead to the rest of the season, because we've got Spa in the books, but we've got a lot of American circuits as well coming up. I mean, is there anything that you're especially looking forward to racing?
I'm looking forward to Bathurst. Definitely, that's gonna be a fun track for I'm sure a lot of people. It's definitely not something I think it's probably not a lot of people's favorite, but hopefully I can kind of gain a really nice advantage there.
Yeah, well, we wish you the best of luck for that one. And just looking at your livery now, it's a pretty cool livery that you've designed for yourself. How can people follow you on social media, follow the progress of your team and everything like that?
Yeah, so it's just no official team. I'm a privateer here. It's just Roberts Racing, my last name. I do some every now and then real racing in real life. They can follow me on social media at Ty_insight for my personal page, and my racing and sim page is Roberts Racing 55.
Awesome. Well,
And
yeah,
shout out to Ginger Liveries for the livery design.
yeah, it
Yeah, they
looks
set
very,
you off
very nice.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah, he hooked me up, man. He does great. He does a lot of the MORAD M Squad liveries. So I hit him up at the last minute. And I was like, hey, I need a livery for this league. So he designed this. I didn't give him anything other than my little bomber logo, and he kind of finessed it. Took him about a week to finish up, and then that was pretty much it. I gave him 2 colors, and he finished the rest. So shout out to Ginger Liveries for that.
Awesome. Well, thank you for having a chat with us, Tyrone. And yeah, we'll see you back next time.
Sure, absolutely. Thanks, y'all. Thanks for having me.
And I think we should just have one more interview, perhaps. But yeah, looking forward to next week when we see all those guys back. But yeah, Chris, would you like to have a chat? I think we've got Alan Ware in the waiting for an interview.
Yeah, let's get Alan in. Alan. There.
Yep, I'm here.
And so talk to me. What'd you think? Race round 1 is down, or how'd it go?
Not my strongest result. Not really what I was hoping for, but I came into this knowing with my practicing that this wasn't my strongest track, and it's not really a car combo I'm quite used to.
It's a long season though. You know, the good thing about it is you got your feet wet in the league. You got to get out there with your competitors. And are you looking forward to round 2?
Definitely looking forward to round 2. The rest of the season looks like tracks I'm at least definitely more comfortable with in terms of pace. Just today just wasn't the day for me. I had a couple contact incidents and a couple spins throughout the race, both races, but I just gotta stay in it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you piloting the Foxxtecca car. It's the personal favorite of mine. That's actually my old football number on that car, so I'm a little partial to watching that thing on the track. But I'm excited to see you continue to compete this year. What track are you looking forward to the most?
Most is Bathurst for sure. I love Bathurst.
Another Bathurst.
Yeah, I love Bathurst. I can't get enough of it. Whenever I want to test a new setup, I always go there.
Oh man, Bathurst is looking to be a big one. A lot of people love that track. Anybody want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Curry Motorsports for helping me with my real IRL racing career progressing, and I just want to give a shout out to Waterford Hills Raceway here in Michigan for giving a lot of the guys here a chance at just getting started road racing at any level.
A big shout out to Julius Curry, good friend of mine. What he does, he takes a lot of these guys and gives them opportunity in real cars. He has a Lamborghini Super Trofeo program. He's also out there in Vegas doing some stuff. So Alan came from that group. So big shout out to Alan, big shout out to Julius, and I'm excited to see what the rest of the season brings.
I'm excited as well, and I thank you guys for having me, and hopefully here's more to come.
Where can people follow you? Give them your IG,
On
the whole
Instagram,
spiel.
you can follow me at alan.ware2526. Alan is spelled with ALAN because a lot of people like to spell it other ways.
Awesome. Well, Alan, appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me.
We might have time for one more interview, actually. They keep coming, basically, but we've still
Yeah.
got a little bit of time left. So, Matthew, if you want to have a chat with Rain Woodside, perhaps?
Yeah, Rain Woodside is. I'm guessing it is Rain Woodside. Rain, congratulations. Welcome to the commentary box, first of all. Just look at this P36 race 2. Not the race you'd have been hoping for, I suppose. Hello, Rain.
You
can
there?
hear us?
They keep coming, basically, but we've still got a
Hello?
Oh, that's my voice.
Yeah.
Can you hear us all right, Rain?
Matrix.
Okay, so I don't think Rain can hear us at this moment in time. So what we'll
have to
do,
give up on that one,
yeah, we'll have to leave that one. Chris, what a day! What an opener to the season. Just talk us through your final thoughts, really, of this first round, this first 2 races.
This is better than what I expected. Exactly what I wanted was to get people from all walks of life out on track, having a great race, amazing broadcast. And again, the league is about accessibility, it's about opportunity, it's about building awareness of esports and how that can be a true career. And even for some of these guys, send them out to the real track. You know, we have IMSA drivers, we have NASCAR drivers, and just the power of technology allows us to come together. Big shout out to Roast the Record. Again, they're out of Stewart, Florida, coffee company. They believed in us. They sponsored this league, and you know, we're just excited to put this on the platforms with our partners and grow this league and grow this sport.
Indeed. Sam, final thoughts from yourself?
So pleased that there was such quality racing today. I think the driving standards were pretty strong as well. I mean, it's a huge field, 39 cars at Spa can often be a recipe for disaster, but I thought the drivers dealt with it really well today. And we've got a really competitive season. I don't think anyone's going to dominate. Yes, Nessov won both races today, but I think he's got so many competitors, and there's going to be lots of rivalries up and down the order. So I'm just looking forward to the next 7 rounds.
Indeed, we head to Sebring in a week's time for the second 2 races. There, make sure you join us live on the Foxxtecca channel. The League by Foxxtecca round 2 will be at Sebring. Thank you to Chris and Sam for joining me in the commentary box tonight. I'll be back next week. I believe Justin should be back with us for next week. Sam will be bringing you the camera actions. Thank you to Jim Cunningham as well, who's done all the angles and replays for us tonight. But we'll see you next time. Goodbye.